I don't... Why? Like... What is the plan here? I gotta know. Do I gotta know? Do I really need to know why bad guy wanted to go turn one Cerberus? Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Getting a little bit earlier start tonight. We're going to be running through some viewer games. We'll see what people have in store, because there always is something a little wacky in store when it comes to Phobies viewer games. And of course, if you want to submit your own viewer games, hit up the Random Sauts Discord. The link for that will be in the description of this video. And I do have to let everybody know at the beginning that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. So with that out of the way, gives me just about enough time to pull up the spreadsheet so that way I can see what's going on. I did not clean this up from last week, apparently. I thought I had, but I guess not. So we're going to swap some of this stuff over real quick. So what's going on, chat? How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody had a good weekend. Living in the future, let us know how Monday looks. I'm not super enthusiastic about it. Not that I ever really am. I'm never looking forward to a new work week. I did have some epiphanies over the weekend for other projects, other things going on, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah, well, what's good? Tired, been working the whole weekend. I know the tired feeling. Thankfully, I didn't have to work, but played a lot, good fights, nice. It's good to hear. Alright, chat, let's jump into this. Let's see what we've got here. What is the first one? Alright, looks like we got, at least compared to the Monster of the Week games, a shorter game here from Painfulfate. No notes. No notes. Game's gonna speak for itself, I guess. We'll see what happens. Painfulfate leading off with that Gravedigger opener on this might sting a little. I'm still not a fan of this. I don't know. Is this like... What the We're starting already, chat? Oh my god! It starts already! I don't... Why... Like... What is the plan here? I gotta know. Do I gotta know? Do I really need to know why bad guy wanted to go turn one Cerberus? This isn't even like a level 3 Cerberus or something and they just got it. This is like... You know better than this by now. You brought this on yourself. I don't care if you're going mono undead. You don't start Cerberus. I suddenly got way more tired, chat. I can't believe this game lasts 19 turns. I don't know why the Gravedigger's here. I guess the Gravedigger is going to try and lock out the two undeads. So, like, you can put the block where the sheep is and then just lock them out. That's an attractor, though. Can't pull right away, but it will make life a little bit more complicated on the offensive end for Painfulfate. You can, of course, contact something on the stem, pull it into the pit, or straight across. This is fine. Fish tank. Seems fishy to me. What? What are we doing? Oh my god! I'm sorry, chat. I'm tired. I don't, like... I guess you don't want to get killed by the... Sure, whatever. What I was thinking you could just send the sheep up, put more pressure on the heart, Like, send the cat to cap the top left kind of thing, and then send the sheep to the heart, and whatever. Like, I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Still haven't blocked out. Like, I don't understand why you broke this block down by your stem. Like, what is the point here? What are we doing? Where do people submit their clips? In my Discord. Exclamation point Discord if you are here on the live stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, can't do that command, but you can check out the links in the bio and the description. See, like, we could have held the stem here. It doesn't matter, because this game is absolutely over. Our opponent started turn 1 Cerberus, but Gravedigger was for the spawner? I don't know what that means. Well, we do get the sheep to connect with Cerberus, but this is probably even worse than for Erratic. No, hit the heart. I mean, I guess... Alright, you're gonna kill the Hippo at least. That's fine. Although I still think... Wait, what? Why are you repositioning? No, you get more... Oh, no. Stop. So you got 1145, but you would have gotten 1600 damage and change if you had just punched it. Now, are they likely to kill this fish tank? No. But I really get the sense that we're gonna not keep the fish tank on the stem. Actually, this'll die. Holy shit, what level is this? Oh my god, it's only a level 6 fish tank. In this case, you absolutely should have left it alone where it was, because you would have got more damage. Like, I think fish tank tanks all of that normally if it was on level, but it's 4 levels under. Please just go for the heart. Dude, level 6. I forgot Painful Fate was so low level. I thought I saw some stuff that was higher, but whatever. So this would have been 560, 760. 820. 12, 13. 13 plus another 21. So they'd only have like 700 health left on the heart right now if you had punched it twice with the fish tank instead of moving, and then just committed everything to the push. And then I think you can follow up with the Cyclops, and there's just literally no way for them to stop you. I think. Cerberus always shakes his one hand, especially after he hits. He shakes his hand almost like it hurts, but he does that as part of the idle animation. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, other than a random twitch. Alright, bad guy starting to stabilize. Not really, I mean, I think bad guy gave up such a humongous amount of tempo that... Wait, what? Oh, I guess that's it. It had to go on lava in order to be able to connect with the Cerberus. Fair. I don't like the erratic. I would have liked either multiple Phobies or a faster moving Phobie. Again, you have them so low on hard health. Just close the game out. Yeah, I don't think Blastomatic's gonna do it for you in this scenario. I am not an expert, but I don't think Blastomatic's gonna do it for you. Honestly, bad guy might have been better off just leaving the attractor up top to keep threatening everything. You can't touch that panic point unless our hero lines up like this, and then you can get it due to adjacency. Down goes Stairmaster. It doesn't matter. 0 keys remaining for bad guy. Meaning 0 reinforcements to try and body block out that Cyclops, which honestly, I wonder if, like, a droney would have been enough. Given the level difference, it's entirely possible that, like, a droney wouldn't get one shot. I don't know if a droney gets one shot on level. Just barely squeaking this one out. The 1 panic point advantage. GG. G. Well done there, Painful. Well done. I do believe the bad guy maybe gifted you one there. I don't want to take anything away from the victory, but bad guy may have gifted you one. All right, I have to modify this person's name, so I don't know if this is correct. Because sometimes people don't put their name in the list correctly. But our hero here is Lance48, I think. Seemingly new to Phobies game submissions, we shall see. New map here. I beat a tractor to his own pole. All right, we're going to learn what that means, because I'm not really clear on exactly what's being communicated there. We get a Gravedigger opener. I haven't seen too much of this map. It kind of came in and went out of rotation really quick, which I've complained about this before. I want them to just have, like, all the new maps in rotation for, like, 3 weeks. Unless the maps are really bad, in which case, don't make bad maps. Like, we're not going to get sick of them. We have plenty of time to be with them forever. Like, or play the other maps that we've been playing forever. Why did we do this? Alright. I guess. I don't know about that one. First of all, I don't like the happy, I don't like the boom, and obviously you got your Gravedigger killed here, so not in love with this thus far. I don't necessarily love the Eternal Night play either, but backed up by the sheep like this, it's fairly safe. You'll probably get a decent trade. It may end up being 6 for 5, though. Like, there's a world in which you... I think they could have killed the... No, they probably would have lost the corn, too. I was going to say they could have killed the Eternal Night, but then the boom comes down and collapses on the corn in conjunction with a sheep hit. Like, you probably lose the sheep then, but that's not enough, I don't think. The creep actually gets a second poison spit. You hate to see it. I don't know what our hero's obsession here is with useless phobies. Oh no, never mind. For a second I thought the boomer was theirs, and I'm like, why do you have Halfy and boomer out? But boomer is not theirs. It's not looking great here, but you can get a boom into sheep hit. I have no idea why bad guy allowed that. I mean, they do have the muffin. Do you have enough damage here to actually kill the, Does have enough damage to take the corn down. This puts the Eternal Knight in a position to actually make life kind of awkward for a bad guy. 7 keys, though. 7 keys. That's actually kind of significant because now the sheep is live. All right, bad guy claiming a 2-to-1 panic point advantage, pushing up Hydra. Sure. Our hero still has a lot of work to do because you do have to... I'm not clear on how you take down this Hydra. You got 2 electrical phobies coming in, Electric Hat and Bloat. I kind of feel like you wanted to leave the Hematic where it was, but taking damage on it from... even from Cyclops and Temptress could be problematic. Alright, so this is kind of the classic Alien Engineer play. Be up a lot of keys throughout the game, and then drop a tractor later in the game, and just seal a deal, right? See if that works out this way here. I guess this is where the beating the attractor to the yoink punch comes in. I don't love getting the sheep disease. Couldn't you just put it on the panic point? Dude, how do you win from here? Alright. Tractor works. Barton on the Temptress. Temptress is down. Alright, that's how you win from here. I mean, they still have a fairly healthy Cyclops plus a almost full health Hydra. And your sheep is diseased, so, like, you need to make something happen yesterday. Even with Hydra, though, they can't race this. It's too big of a life lead. Good recognition here of the game state, of what your win conditions are. Because I don't think you could fight this head-to-head. Triple panic point advantage, dodging the Hydra expertly. Down goes Cyclops, and somehow Haffy... Oh my god. Why is it Haffy? Haffy putting in work? I guess. Haffy didn't do terrible, but I'm always forced to wonder, like... would you not have just been better off with something else? Just saying. Don't tell me Happy wins this. There was no way for bad guy to win past that certain point. I mean, that one turn looked really bad for our hero, specifically the turn where I'm like, how do you win from this position? But they were able to get a great counterattack and actually level things out. You can tell I didn't click on the Phobies to see what the numbers were. But once the tide turned like that, bad guy didn't really have a good position to continue pressuring. They were already down hard health, down panic points. Not much going in their favor. All right. Let's see, chat. Feels like I've already done 20 games, and that was only 2 games. I'm tired. I couldn't fall asleep last night, and then got up early today, and... going to sleep late and waking up early is not a good combination, but cheeseburger, that's an excellent combination. Hamburgers and cheese. I have it on good authority that that's a good combination. I have it on good authority. Little shove shark action. The sucky avatar out of our hero. Dude, the sucky avatar is horrifying. Like, that's a creepy-ass avatar. Little shove shark opener. Shove shark, topic of conversation offline, we will say. Let me know what you think, chat. And YouTube, let me know down in the comments. How do you feel about ladder right now? Do you feel that shove shark and sentinels are a big enough problem? Like, are we better off or worse off than the boss Gonzo era? Let's put it that way. Do you feel that the game was more fun when boss Gonzo existed pre-nerf? Or do you think it's more fun now? Because we can go back and forth and go in circles about balanced discussions and that sort of thing. But the real thing is it fun? Is the game enjoyable? Do you want to play more Phobies? And were you more interested in playing Phobies when Boss Gonzo was pre-nerf? Or are you more interested in playing Phobies now in the Shove Shark Sentinel era? Admittedly, we're seeing turrets here, but... I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see Phobie bans, like... I mean, we've kind of gotten Phobie bans, because there's been a number of Phobies that after they got nerfed kind of like fell off the face of the earth, but I don't think we're going to get, like, they're never going to completely retire a Phobie or something. Creepy Devil. Is double turret even good into Billy? Like, Shove Shark does help here. Alright, I was about to say, you can probably kill Billy. Ooh, Shove Shark hanging on by the skin of his teeth. I was originally going to say, like, you can do some Shove Shark pushes to make this work. Are we going to do it anyway? That doesn't even snipe the jar. Okay. Okay. Snowball trading. I mean, it's not a trade yet, but it will be a trade unless this... Yeah, the snowball's staying there, because... Of course it is. I can probably snipe the Billy here. Can you? I mean, this is a lot of damage from Creepy Devil. If there's going to be a turn for it, it's probably now. Oh, we're not going for Billy. We're going to snipe the Maggie. That seems suspect, but Billy is going to have to retreat. It's only Billy and Henrietta staring down this team. And by the way, our hero has a board advantage as well as a key advantage. They have 3 more keys than bad guy. Creepy Devil booing the opponent with its tongue? True. Creepy Devil does enjoy a joke here and there. Because Billy has been putting in work. Every time well, I take it back, not every time. We've seen one time where Billy did, like, nothing. A few weeks back, but since then, Billy's been putting in a fair amount of work. I don't think going in there with Bachelor was necessary if you're just going to retreat with Billy. Like, just stay there. I don't know. Yeah, you get hit by the Klepto, but like I don't know what's happening here. Zero keys to 3, but that Klepto is exceptionally far out of position. Like, that Klepto's dead, right? Oh, it's 100% dead. Was there no other way to do that? I think you might have been better off, like, trading out the Shove Shark for the Bachelor. Like, couldn't you do that? Or even the Stabby. Like, keep the Klepto. Why are we letting Klepto die? Maybe the numbers don't work out that way, but it feels like you could have hit with Klepto first, moved it back, hit with Stabby. Like, I don't know. And then there was Billy. Billy's pretty good, but I don't know if he can 3v1 here. Oof. Definitely not if Klepto's going to tank all that. Maybe if you kill the Klepto. And with Stabby on the board, this is extremely difficult because obviously we all know Stabby will do Stabby things. Ouch. Trap there. This game goes on for 8 more turns. This is... If you were playing chess, this game people would just surrender, right? Like, both players would recognize what the optimal moves are. And then just be like, hey, this game is just over. There is a risk here, because if you double move with that Stabby the wrong way, you end up getting 3 hit by the Billy. That being said, getting 3 hit here. Nope, 2. A reposition. Hero is under pressure. Maybe if this were chess, they wouldn't have surrendered. Just because there are a number of lines that our hero could have taken that would have actually cost him this game. The movement with Stabby was actually done pretty well. There goes Billy. Teeing off on the Stabby. Bad news for you, Billy. Dude. 54 health. Wow, that was actually really tight. Alright, GG. Well played, Cheeseburger. Well played. Alright, so Chad did respond to my query earlier. Balanced is more fun, air quotes. But the snowball in the game is too much. I think the game needs something to stop the snowball. Sometimes you win on turn 4 or 5 by a good trade. I think that's always been true, and people just don't accept it because most people are bad at Phobies. Now, that is also true in games like chess. If you make a bad trade early on, which I think chess is the best comparison for Phobies. At the end of the day, they're both highly deterministic games, and if you throw out the levels, which I get you can't really do, but like put levels aside for a second. Phobies is chess with a resource system. Now, you could debate whether the resource system is good, bad, or otherwise, but keys are a resource, and the game plays out like chess due to the determinism. There's no variance. Because it's highly deterministic, I don't think it's possible to prevent games being over on, like, turn 2. Because there's no combating that snowball. Now, keys, like the key differential, player 1 versus player 2, does impact that because obviously player 2 gets more keys, so it gives them something to come back with. That is a problem in certain maps, and maybe you can address it with map design because, like Carson and I talk about this a lot, I think the map design on most maps leaves a lot to be desired. But I think that there aren't enough games played that are relevant, like between high enough level players under controlled circumstances to really get a good sense of what is or is not balanced in this game. You can do it with numbers and it'll come out in the wash, sort of, but not always. Billy is just unstoppable. Is he, though? Is he, though? The thing is that balance is not fun, and the more balanced you make a game, the more boring it typically is. People don't want a balanced game. Most people. When I say stuff like this, it's always, with the caveat of not everybody. Most people don't want a balanced game. They want a fun game, and most fun games are not balanced. Because it's more fun to do something incredibly powerful. If you only have 3 to 4 or more key cards, and he has a bachelor boomer, always you lose the trade. That's why it's too important to limit the units on each map. What? You always need a low-key cost to trading or trade a high-cost card and lose. I mean, yes, if I'm understanding what you're saying, that is part of the game. Like, I want to efficiently trade my keys for your keys. That is the underlying game that everybody kind of groks but doesn't always acknowledge. The funny little monsters on top of the numbers game that lives underneath Phobies are the reason that a lot of people are going to like Phobies, or dislike it for that matter if you don't like the theme. But at the end of the day, Phobies is a numbers game. It's a highly deterministic game. Like, it's part of the reason that I don't like async, is because I think you can just sit there and calculate everything out and possibly not have to play the game. Whereas in Arena, because you are under the stress of the timer, there will always be that limitation. And it's part of the, there's a reason that it's very rare, maybe not rare, but like many chess tournaments, aside from just having a clock in general, like you just don't do classic chess where it's untimed turns, because the game will take hours, because the appropriate thing is to sit there and calculate it all out, which you can do with async. So like, I'm fine that it exists, but I don't want to do that. In async, you can do the best you can sit there and figure out what is the optimal move, as opposed to this is the best move I can think of in the time frame that I had. So like, I don't like variance. I don't want there to be coin flips and Phobies. I don't want there to be, this time when I attack, maybe it'll do 100 damage, maybe it'll do 200 damage. I don't want that. But having the timer does add a level of variance due to human limitations. So I think that's fine. I'm looking at myself on the ops preview. I really need to shave, Chad. You're just looking awful right now. We'll get me off the screen, at least temporarily. Shrink me down a little bit. We got a dearh game going up against Jeremy, a regular here. What do we got? We've got hijack 2 Phobies with Wuffalo. First victim is Blondie, which is then used to debuff against its own team. Second victim is Akira, plus 5-0 panic point advantage. Unmatched with Wuffalo. I appreciate dearh putting a showcase on with Wuffalo. I don't know if Karst has taken any of these games for his encyclopedia or not, but Wuffalo needs more love. Wuffalo needs more love. Crits, procs, or misprocs, can you imagine that? It would be, Phobies would be a different game. Phobia with random stats. I wouldn't, I gotta be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like that eventually, but I will absolutely hate it, and I really hope they don't do that. It might be one of my last days with Phobies, if that were to happen. I'd have to decide, because I'm at that point where, like, I don't know what I would do without Phobies at this point. Like, I really do love Phobies. Even though I just watch the games now. Like, I've talked about it before, I haven't played a game of Phobies in a very, very, very long time. We love math. I never did math when I was playing Phobies. It was always a guesstimation. It's like, it looks like I'll kill him. It looks like I'll live. You have no idea how many Hevo 3.0s I threw away. I just like, there's no way he can kill it, right? And they kill it. They killed it. Stabbies trading blows up at the top. We have an early Firkin alongside a Phantom from our hero. Innocuous coming down. Jeremy getting a more standard setup. Double turret, though. Technically triple turret with the Innocuous. Rush Hour is a stallish map. But if you're only banking to 6, like, you need comp breakers on this map. You need ways to siege your opponent. Alright, Innocuous is fine, but, like, Akira's gonna come out, a Tractor will come out, stuff like that. We have seen, who used to do it with the Gargle's Chuck play on this map. Regardless, you have to be able to do something, and the turret setup is very passive. And because of the stallish nature of this map, it's a big map, you kind of only have a 1-0 panic point advantage at any given time. So if you're not, you don't have something to jump your opponent with, it just kind of feels like it's a bad spot. Now, with the early Firkin, that does limit Jeremy's options because, well, you know, you put an Akira out or whatever, it's just going to get Firkined, or it's going to be very difficult to prevent it from getting Firkined, especially if you need it to assist in the actual fighting. So, we'll see. Glob coming down, once again, I don't understand why. This is a very early Glob for, like, no reason. But we do have a 4-1 panic point advantage. I play this map controlling the center with traps. That's not unreasonable. I think a lot of people just shy away from using traps. Like, they're not incredibly rare. No, like, you see plenty of games of people using trap phobies. But they aren't that common, and I feel like they should be more common given the power level on them. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. There it is. It's Waffle. Is there a Waffalo avatar? Somebody's got to get dearh on that if there is. Shove Shark and Phantom? I mean, Waffalo is live now. You can shove Waffalo forward, move Phantom, fling the Waffalo in there. There's the Akira. Oh no, dude. You just set the... That's a big yikes moment. Oh, get parasited. So I was thinking that the Blondie could go in and depower everything, but it doesn't get 2 actions. It only gets... I think it gets 1 action afterwards, right? Or do you get 0 actions after you Buffalo? I guess it's 0, because I feel like you would have at least attacked here. But either way, That's a parasite in places you don't want it. Is there a parasite place you ever want parasites? I guess not in you. That would be a place you'd want parasites, not in you, right? Or on you? No parasites in or on you. I think most people can agree to that, right? Screech! Only powers down 2 team members right now. Sheep. Farting on the stabby. Classic matchup. Oh, stabby lives. Not like it matters. Look at this team. I wonder if Jeremy missed that one. Like the shove shark into the phantom play. Like, why even allow that to potentially happen? It seems weird. Alright, looks like Glob's gonna eat it. Now, Jeremy's Glob could glob up their own Blondie. Are they gonna go that far? They are gonna go that far. You can't save that, by the way. Well, I take it back. They could put a displacement tool on the board. Dude, I can't believe this sheep. What is happening in this game? Jeremy on the ropes, just completely in shambles. That's how you save it. You got Russell in a terrifying pack. Congrats. Welcome to the Russell Havers Club. Russell good phobie, from what I've heard. I remember way back when Russell was among the worst phobies in the game. Jeremy has to actually kill their own phobie. Oh, man. Dude, 6 keys just to have it taken by Waffalo and then whoop your own ass? Ugh, that's a rough spot. Down goes the sheep. Orange player actually gets a kill. Gets second kill there on the stabby. Leveling the teams out a bit, but I don't know if that's enough. Takedown on the Rusty. 4 keys remaining for our hero. Fried Glob is on the main. Why did the Glob take damage there? What just happened? Either way, Fried Glob. Bye-bye. Get the break here, allowing for the innocuous. Probably about 35-40% hard health remaining. I guess Jeremy's not out of it, because Akira is on the board. If you can get another Akira pull, maybe you can make something happen, but you're never going to get another Akira pull. The Firkin, at the very least, is going to turn it off the turn before. Like, there's no way to position to hide it. Not at this stage. Oh, the big power down from the Bad Omen. Imagine if Bad Omen wasn't an ultra rare. We would be seeing it like all the time. 5-0 panic point advantage. Waffalo. Ready and willing. Spread more parasites. Dude, does anything die? Okay. I was about to say, like, if you take this entire turn and nothing dies. Final turn. Dawn of the final day. Slap Haffy. Taking the Akira for good measure. 5-0 panic point advantage. Bam. Got him. Well played. Well played. Yeah, I wonder if Jeremy just missed the Shove Shark into Waffalo play, because the later glob that on the Blondie that was stolen, which was freed by Shove Shark, like, I don't think there was anything different you could have done there. I feel like you kind of have to go for the glob play, which doesn't feel great given that they immediately free it, but what else are you going to do? However, the first play, I think, could have been avoided. Could have possibly been avoided. Or at least delayed. Did not favorite the game. What? Okay, hold on. They didn't favorite the game, so I'm trying to go by the date. But it's not off by 1 day, it's off by 2. Assuming that this is the right... Oh wait, here's one. Okay, this might be it. It almost fell off the profile if this is the one. And this looks like it. The Big House. Killer Frost. Coming back. In a war of attrition, Billy always wins. I feel like we did this. Sounds very familiar. Did we already do this, chat? I feel like we did this one. We'll go through it anyway, but I feel like we did this one. Get a showcase of Billy, why not? I kind of wish Billy was not the exclusive Phobie. He's splashy enough that he was always going to be, but like... Maybe this map is really straightforward. No, I mean, I think we did this one because like, the notes sound familiar. And I thought we did a Killer Frost game last week, but we'll see. Either way, we do got that Billy. Billy poking away. So it begins. So here's an interesting... Well, I don't know if interesting is the way to describe it, but it is a set of thoughts and comments. Karst, among other people, yeah, this is starting, like, I'm getting deja vu from this. YouTube, let me know down in the comments if we did this last week. Somebody, hold on. Actually, I could just check it right now, hopefully. I'm going to literally go to my own YouTube channel. Check it. Because we already did this. Let's see here. Viewer games. Killer Frost. You're gonna hear me in the background. I assume you mean... Killer Frost on the Big House with... Yep, we did this one. There's no way that it's Billy on the Big House with Killer Frost's player 2, starting with Henrietta and Billy, as well as a Repeller and Innocuous on the other side. I knew this game felt like we did. Really, we already did it. I must have just not marked it. All right, so we'll go to this one. That would be why they hadn't unfavored a game. All right, hopefully this is one we haven't talked about. Marky992 here on Noughts and Crosses. dearh here, I'm submitting this game because I find this game very interesting. How much good Hevo Plaid is against mechanicals, plus a level 70 player taking on a level 122 player is awesome. We will see. We shall see. I mean, Plaid did herald a lot of complaints because of, like, the potential. Similar to Billy, like, yeah, Plaid was going to be an exclusive Phobie. It does too much, like, the vault snipe and everything, like, it's way too splashy. But yet, at the same time, it's a, like, it's kind of a niche Phobie because it has to be anti-electrical, or anti-mechanical because it's electrical. I don't know. Ooh, we got a goon mirror. I'll never not throw in a complaint about the Phobies economy, chat. And the whole Billy Plaid thing is obviously part of that. Alright, Noxious coming in as the anti-goon to a degree. Good staggering of the Phobies to prevent goon plays. Repeller? I get it's a 3-ranger, but, like, is that really what you want here? We have been seeing a lot more Repeller over time. I really think Boss held it down, being so paper thin and all. Where's the... Oh. Just checking something there, chat. Alright, we're getting the build up. We get some displacement tools, better displacement tools for our hero. Big build up on this map. Whom. 3 hits there on the heart as well as Snowball. Snowball's mobile enough that I don't think it really matters, but it could. However, panic point advantage and 1 keys are in bad guys' favor. Because even with a flip here with the AWOL, you're going to end up trading it out for Cowbell. So here's the real question. Because we get a lot of complaints about, you know, the stare-down matches and Phobies. But a lot of them are induced by player inaction, which I get. And as mentioned earlier, it is very easy to like miss a window in Phobies. You know, and if you miss the window, it not only can cost you the game, but it completely resets things. Now we're getting the same trait. Like, what? You just did this to them, and then you let them do it back? Notably, bad guy is being patient, waiting to reclaim the panic point, because if they were to send the cowbell back in, the goon can re-blom, I believe. What's my best favorite way of breaking the stare downs without coming out with a disadvantage? It will depend on the map. But, like, Akira used to be a very easy one. Like, yes, you get the Akira dance, but if you can set up an Akira advantage, displacement tools like the Moffat is good. For these sort of scenarios, I think you needed to be more aggressive, like, 7 turns ago. The Phobies selection here is part of it. Like, so the Noxious is clearly intended to fight the Goon, right? There isn't really anything else there. And without knowing Marky's collection, it's difficult. For me, it would probably be setting up like a Hevo 3.0, setting up a Gonzo or some other buffer, and getting ready to get in there. Like, go in and make something happen. And here's the plaid. Like, I think Marky did a good job of the, like, they have a spider. But this may be an example of, like, and I don't think it's because of repeller, but, like, a tractor may be necessary because how is the spider ever going to realistically connect? If it moves up even one space, it's potentially getting killed because of Shove Shark. Dude, that thing moves so fast. It also is in range of hitting the Hevo right now, which is kind of insane. There are one of two ways to break a stalemate. Well, there's 3 now with, like, Billy. You can harass with Billy, or something similar, where, like, Shove Shark Poke, where it's like you slowly whittle them down. The other option is you need to set up an explosive play. Like, you Gonzo your Hevo and then just blow them up in one shot. Or, if not literally... Dude, this turn... Hold on, we gotta rewatch this turn. Holy shit. Forget everything I just said, because watch this turn. This kind of illuminates or underscores the point that I was trying to make about explosive plays. Is we get the Goon Blom into the bees hitting 5 Phobies, into Hevo Plaid with a direct hit on Hevo 3.0 off the stem, hitting 5 Phobies for a triple kill. Boom. Roasted. Stick a fork in them. They are done. But, like, yeah, this would be one of them, setting up something like this. Now, given that, you know, like, there was no Gonzo or anything, and, like, you need a bad guy to cooperate here. But you can get explosive Phobies, explosive setups, like big wombo plays. This almost didn't work out. Almost. So what did I say already? So it was, like, Billy harassment. And it doesn't have to be Billy, it could be things like that. Big wombo plays, or displacement tools, which could overlap with wombo plays, where you just why boom here. I mean, I think the Sabian's probably just dead, but having tankier Phobies also so that you can go in is valuable. Bad guy allowing the Blom to happen here. This is a great heads-up play by Marky. Getting that Blom. It would have been very easy to just accept a potential kill on Sabian. Actually, I don't think you can get the kill on... you get 2 hits from Cassowary, a hit from Noxious, a hit from Maggie. It's possible. But then you open yourself up to the Hevo counterattack. I don't think this standoff was that bad, even though this was a long-ish game at 32 turns. But we have had ones where people missed an opening earlier in the game that led to, like, if you positioned this way instead, or you got this kill instead of doing that, or you didn't allow this kill to happen, you don't enter the stalemate scenario. And the bomb for style points. GG. That was a really cool turn. It's one of those similar to what we saw with the Waffalo play earlier, where I do wonder, did bad guy just kind of like, it's their own damn fault? No, you brought this on yourself. I think we might just get to yours, Max. I think you might be the last game for tonight, unless I miscounted. No! Did you not? Did somebody else submit this game? Is that why it wasn't favored? God damn it. I hate having to go hunting through people's profiles. Alright. Alright, they didn't favorite the game. Dudiobugtron. Defending against an early werewolf on the new Heart Rush map. Karst asked me to submit the game since he liked the Finnegan Bone Crusher move. Bone Crusher. Finnegan Bone Crusher. What the hell's Bone Crusher? Is there a phobia I'm forgetting? Is there a phobia I am forgetting? Yes, the werewolf opener seems reasonable. Notably, neither player dropped an early Gravedigger, which is what we saw in some of the more extreme Heart Rush, scenarios. Again, with these early booms, like, it would have died anyway, right? So, like, in this scenario, it wouldn't have mattered, because the one key would have died between Hevo and Daisy, and then Werewolf go. Like, the same thing happens. It just annoys me. Would it have died if it was a boomer, though? I feel like it wouldn't have died. Oh, that is sick! That is sick. Okay, now I get the Bone Crusher thing. Like, I was trying to figure out, like, what phobia is Bone Crusher? Nope, it's just quite literally crunching bones. Well played. I do like to see the cupcake here. Definitely makes sense. Keep pressure on. Sacrificing Ginsting for the Daisy. I guess it's 4 keys for 4 keys. That's fine. Kerbloom, huh? I don't know about that. Interesting. Not willing to go for the damage buff right now. I get it. That's fair. Panic points are still even. Bad guy not willing to claim this bottom one. And obviously our hero's kind of out of position. We're getting the Shove Shark team up here. It's like a buddy cop movie. Chat, what's the tagline for the Shove Shark buddy cop movie? Kira, okay. The Rambo feels kind of random. I'm not really sure what the Rambo's doing for our hero here. Imagine if it was old Akira right now. Actually, the Werewolf depowers next turn, doesn't it? So, like, this completely... The Akira warm-up completely screwed up bad guy. Oh my god, this is so silly. Ooh, for all of you wondering why that cupcake got popped, there you go, because count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 phobies. I was about to comment and be like, why did they do that unless they're trying to add something to the board, but they answered the question preemptively. Big old Blondie hit to power down. No, just chomping. That's fair. Bop. Down goes the Ginsting. That was... I don't want to say it's a bad Akira, because we've seen some really bad Akiras, but, like, that was not a great Akira. This Rambo's putting in work. So for everybody out there that was saying this is a terrible map because, oh my god, how do you can't possibly stop heart rushes, this didn't even... I mean, yes, there was a heart push at the end of the game, but this wasn't like... This is dramatically different from the sort of game that we saw previously, where we had people just completely bypassing each other and going for the heart. Bad guy trying to claim the panic points, but that's not gonna save you. Boop, for some reason. I guess just so we can get the freeze. Yeah, sure, why not? So Rambolina, I was questioning. Other than Mr. Tramples, that's like the only phobie that could have done this. I'm curious if Rambo was always intended to do that, or if it was just an opportunity that arose. Because if it wasn't always intended to do that, I don't know why Rambolina showed up, like, at all. But either way, GG, well played. Chad, I hate it when we have to turn the heat on because it smells weird. It's baseboard heating. I hate baseboard heating. It's terrible. But enough about that. Let's talk about Night Shift and noobsim. At first it's boring. At the end, you'll get why Phobies never chooses MVPs correctly. I didn't even see who the MVP was, so I will be unable to explain why Phobies chose the wrong MVP. But yeah, Night Shift, Eternal Monday, Megalo. Wait, is this Megalo? No, this is Megalo, right? I'm getting confused. Either way, like, this map does have a history of people not being big fans. I kind of like it better than, say, Eternal Monday, but I get why people dislike it. Either way, the Innocuous, like, Corn Innocuous opener from Bad Guy does give our hero free reign over the map for a bit. We will see a very brief free panic point advantage. But what is the response with 6 keys? I don't get that trap. It's... what else are you gonna do? Like, a double move on the previous turn I don't think really gets you anything. And if you advance, you lose the corn. So, like, you can't advance and put the trap on the panic point, I don't think. Sometimes it's just for the sake of using the cooldown. Like, I have this ability, I'm going to use the ability. Boomer gonna take a vacation day. Few vacation days at the spa. And now we get Shove Shark. And we get the counter Shove Shark. Here's the thing. It was even put in the notes that, oh, well, in the beginning this game is boring. I don't find them as boring. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some games that are more boring than others. But even if we get something standard like this, it isn't nearly as boring when it's spectating. I'm sure it's more boring when playing. Like, I don't doubt that. But I don't really have a problem with watching these. Bad Guy choosing to max out with 8 keys in the bank, 11 keys in the bank. I don't know about that one, Chief. There isn't really a way to do this, but it would behoove Bad Guy to try and leave the cat and the cowbell alone. Keep our hero locked out of the remaining 13 keys, and press the board advantage they have. I don't think there was really a way to do it, but if you could, that would be ideal, because our hero's composition is not very good. Bad Guy's is not significantly better, but it's kind of better. Like, the Snowball plus the Innocuous could, like, Shove Shark one of them, Snowball, whatever. You can get a takedown on something relevant. Ideally, Hero's Innocuous, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. The Bad Guy locks the cowbell in here, sort of. It's no longer locked in. But a triple panic point advantage looks like we're going to trade corn here. Oh no, we do get exactly the play I was talking about. Just the other way. Is that Innocuous not dead? It should be dead, right? Tiny Tim? Sure? The Bad Guy just took way too long to do anything. Look at their heart health. Admittedly, I don't know if there's anything they could have really done to try and push it, but... I mean, both players mirrored each other. You know, that would be an interesting assessment list. Are there going first phobies? versus going second, Phobies. So in this scenario, we saw Innocuous Shove Shark come out of player 1. And we saw Innocuous Shove Shark come out of player 2. Player 2 is winning this game. Would it have been better for player 1 to do something else and then, like, preemptively suppose the Shove Shark Innocuous play? Or, like, does it matter? Ooh, double kill from Repeller there. Bad guy now in control of the panic points, but I mean, how the hell are you going to stop Tiny Tim? He's above ground now. 355 health on that heart. Imagine if Burrow could go through Abyss Tiles. It would just be a worse flight, but it already is, kind of. Alright, I have no idea what Phobies is going to get MVP, nor do I know what one, quote-unquote, should have. Well played, noobsim. GG. Apparently Raucus got it. I don't know what Raucus did to deserve MVP, but I couldn't have really named a particular one besides that. Maybe Shove Shark? I don't know. Alright, just a few more games, chat, and then we'll call it an evening. Oh my god, everybody saved, like, all the long ones for this week. Alright, pvzfurmade on Diabolical. Good example of why Phantom and Frosty need nerfs. I mean, Frosty has been called for nerfs for a while. Little jammy fish action. Alright, look. Actually, you know, I don't hate this opener. No, not 28 turns, 38 turns. As in 2 less than 40. Does Phantom need nerf? So, Speedola, huh? Alright. They'll be able to get the other one with Jammy Fish this turn, so that's kind of cute. No Gravedigger for bad guy, though. PvZ going up to 10. I don't know. There are things such as Phantom that I think just kind of can't exist in the game. Like, I'm not sure there can ever be a true balanced state for them. They're either going to be overpowered or they're going to be useless. Then again, Akira is arguably balanced now. But as I've said with so many things on so many occasions with Phobies, wait, why didn't... I guess it's fine, because if you kill the snowball, you end up on the panic point, you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2, but you get frozen by the Frosty, and then it breaks the Speedola. Well, probably better to retreat. Okay, we saw something like this the other day, but it was player 2 went Heartbreaker, and like, I don't know what their plan is here, but I don't think it's going to work out the way they think it does. And I'm kind of a defender of Heartbreaker. Like, I think Heartbreaker, it again comes down to what do you want to base the game around? Like, what is the, What is your baseline? What is your standard phobie? Because you got to pin something down as like, this is what we want to base the game on, and then everything's going to be variations of this, essentially. You know, like, oh, it does more damage, so therefore it has less health, or it costs more, so it can get this extra, but it costs less, so it has to lose this. And I can see worlds in which Heartbreaker is fine. I don't know. Sometimes I do wonder if Phobies would be better with a deck system. This was a debate that used to come up a lot. Where, like, you could only bring it... I mean, that's what the draft games, the draft leagues are doing. Is you only bring so many Phobies. Or you only have access to so many Phobies. And I mentioned it a lot for Monster of the Week, but I'm fine with banning some of these Phobies. People need to prove it, and people just choose not to, like... Let's put it this way, they're not making these things look broken. I feel like there was a Akira Frosty play here, but maybe not. You would have frozen the Innocuous and the Red Speedola, at minimum, and you would have diseased Heartbreaker. Is that not worth it? I feel like people are just reflexively going glob now. Here, it's not bad, but we've seen a lot of glob where it's like, did you really need to put that on the board? Alright, down panic points, but PvZ is definitely making their move, inching up here. 6 keys to 7 remaining. We probably dance around for another 12 turns or so, and then something happens. I don't even know, like, what are we in a Heartbreaker here? I guess you could Heartbreaker just about anything, actually. Okay. Oh, this one's gonna be sick. Got him. Taking down the Heartbreaker is actually a big deal. This also, as mentioned earlier with the other potential freeze, is you do get the opportunity to break the Speedola synergy. Get to cook the Jammy Fish there. I do kind of like that Jammy Fish opener. It's very interesting. Like, with the Droney and the Jammy Fish, you can get across the board very, very quickly when you do the Speedola thing. That seemed very well rehearsed. The rest, however... Like, what is the Heartbreaker plan? Like I said, I guess you could Heartbreaker anything. You drop it in the middle of your team, and it's probably going to die, but... So, this comes down to a philosophical question for this. And hopefully I can do it justice, but... PvZ put Frosty and Phantom on the board. 5 keys for Phantom, 9 for Frosty, 14 keys. Bad Guy committed to an 11-key play, technically a 14-key play between the Jammy Fish, and 16 if you count the Droney, for the Jammy Fish Speedola thing. Yes, there really wasn't much that Bad Guy could do. Like, eventually PvZ is going to get this. But bad guy committed to this plan, which could not deal with PvZs before PvZ put anything on the board. So point being is, how much of this is bad guy's own damn fault, or committing to this aggressive plan that they couldn't close the game with? We've seen Speedola's win on this map. Is it bad guy's fault that they did not play more generically, leave themselves open with more options to try and fight the Akira, the Phantom, the Frosty? I'm inclined to say it's not their fault, because I don't really know what the hell they could have done. Like, they could have played a more standard opener or something, but, like, if you kill the Phantom, they have Akira. If you kill the Akira like you did, they have the Phantom, and they get to set this up anyway. And there's a certain level of both players need to be able to do stuff, but I don't think that bad guy could have done much differently to materially impact the game, I mean. And now we're watching this happen in slow motion. Because while Frosty can kill the Innocuous here, Blondie's going to have a hell of a time chasing down the Speedola. Then again, Frosty can just go chase it. Thanks to the earlier Gravedigger break, Contortio and Speedola are able to keep the pressure on, so there is that. But you still have a fairly healthy heart. Like, what is this, like 3k health? Almost 4k health. Just shy of 4k health. I don't understand that position. But yeah, this game is over. It was a while ago. Like I said, I don't know. I've talked about this at length before, where I think that there are a lot of plays now, due to the growth of the Phobies roster, that you start getting these linear plans where it's, if you don't respond in this way, you lose. Because we've gone so horizontal, as opposed to power creeping and going vertical, where it's like, this new Phobie is way better than the old ones, don't even play them. And then this Phobie's better than even that one, don't play that one. And it keeps stacking up until you get to the point where it's like, alright, this is ridiculous. You can also go too far horizontal, where you end up like at different ends, almost playing not the same game. Or it's not necessarily that you're not playing the same game, although that happens in other games. We're actually racing heart damage here. Lol. It's that strategies become kind of linear, so you have to respond to them in the way that's intended, and if you don't, you lose. I think that's gonna be it. Kapow! One more Frosty Zap, and they're donezo. GG. What would a solution to this be? To power creep horizontally, for lack of a better way to put it? I'm sure there's a term for it, but I don't know what it is. Assuming that's what you're talking about, it comes down to long-term design planning to avoid it. Like, you could solve the individual problem, right? Like, if we identified, excuse me, say like 10 Phobies, and I don't know if there are 10, but let's say there are 10 Phobies that are doing this right now, and they say, you know what, we're going to nerf them, and then we bring everything back to the mean. Great. Everything's happy and balance is fantastic, but eventually, because they're continuing to introduce Phobies, this is going to continue to happen. Now, in card games, when this happens, you usually end up just banning things, and you have to break up those powerful things in eternal formats. Eternal formats, for people that aren't familiar, are ones that don't rotate. Cards don't leave naturally. Once a card's in the pool, it's in the pool until it gets banned, basically. If it was a digital card game, you could errata it or something. In the premier formats, where it's like there are rotating sets, because obviously they want you to buy new cards and there are other reasons, but it also helps you reset the power level. So every set period of time, it could be a few years, it could be so many sets, it could be whatever, they pull cards out of the pool and give you other ones. So it just kind of constantly resets the power level. With Phobies, we don't have any, like, they're not going to have a rotation, and they're not going to do bans, so they're going to have to band-aid things, which is also part of why in both scenarios you need long-term planning to ensure that you don't fall into this trap of, well, hey, let's just introduce this cool new idea, and then this cool new idea, and then this cool new idea, but then they end up creating these play patterns that you just don't actually interact in a meaningful way. Because it's, hey, I do this, therefore you must do this, and it is decided. The beauty of Phobies games is when you get into these clunky, scrappy scenarios where, at least to me, I mean, obviously people are all playing Phobies for different reasons, but like, you want it to be, hey, the optimal strategy to counter X is this. So as the player using X, I'm going to try and force you to be unable to put that phobia on the board because you had to do something else, or I don't give you enough time, or whatever. So I force you into a bad spot, but as the other player, you don't want it to also be helpless as soon as that phobia hits the board. So the extreme case is going to be the lights out alien engineer thing, where alien engineers run you out of keys, they put a tractor on the board, you can't win. That feels really silly, because it's like, we got to this point, and now what do I do? The answer is don't get to that point, but how many tools do you have to avoid it? All right, chat, we got Gundam as our hero here. So Yu-Gi-Oh! And Shadow Era being eternal. Yeah, so Hearthstone only lets you play with the last 3 expansions in competitive. Yeah, so that's a rotating format. Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess technically is an eternal format, although, you know, like Hearthstone has Wild, which is also eternal. They never take things out of Wild. They will ban them, because they don't really ban. I mean, I guess they ban stuff, right? I think. Like they've just straight up removed it from the pool. But if they rework something, that's essentially banning the old card, right? Like if they change the text. And when they nerf it, obviously that's another thing that digital games can do. Phobies is an eternal game. You don't rotate things. Things don't change. The only way they're going to change is if there's a balance change. Like they're never going to just literally delete Russell. You know what I mean? They'll nerf him, and there's an argument that nerfing a thing past a certain point is the same as banning it because nobody will play it. It still shows up in your collection. And the answer for the Phobies dev team is going to be, and I'm not saying we're 100% at that state, but there are, like what we saw in the last game, what exactly was our opponent supposed to do if they open Speedola? Now, that could be a build order loss. That happens in, say, RTS games like StarCraft. If I start with a 6 pool and you start with whatever, I win or lose based on, well, I mean, the third scenario is like, all right, we play a real game. Just the parameters are shifted because of the choices we made. But there's 3 scenarios. One is a normal game. One is I win and there's nothing you can do. And there's one that I lose and there's nothing I can do because we made those decisions. Was bad guy in that position there where they went Speedolas, and therefore there was just no way for them to get enough keys, do enough damage, stress out PvZ enough that they couldn't get Frosty online. Hopefully there weren't too many negatives in that sentence. Point is, was there any way for bad guy to open Speedolas and beat the Frosty. And I don't know that there was. And if there isn't, are we as players, or the devs, okay with that scenario? Because we had a game earlier tonight where somebody started with Cerberus on This May Sting a Little. Look, if you do that, you're gonna fucking lose. I'm sorry. Like, unless you're out leveling them by 1 billion, like, that's not a good plan. That Cerberus is gonna take 1,000 years to get involved, and by the time it does, it's probably not even going to be good at that stage. Like, you need more active stuff early in the game. So I think we can all agree that if you open Cerberus on This Might Sting a Little and you lose, sucks to suck. But are we okay with somebody going Jammy Fish into Double Speedola on Diabolical and losing to Frosty Phantom in particular? And, like, how many things are suppressed by Frosty Phantom? Because it certainly suppresses some strategies. How many and what ones, and is the game better for having them suppressed than not? Because this came up in the Star Wars ban discussion when I did the video on it. Like, and at the time, I was truly speculating. I didn't know what the format would look like without the card that ended up getting banned, Boba Fett. But when you ban something, you do need, or in the case of Phobies, if you were going to rework it, if you were going to nerf it, if you were going to buff something else, you have to consider what the world is going to look like after that happens. And I don't know, like, say we nerf Phantom again. We hit Frosty, we do whatever. Is that world better than the one we have? I don't know. And it's tough to know when the devs are continually producing new Phobies and new maps. And the reality is, and this all comes back to the economy, they will never stop making new Phobies because they can't. That is literally how they make the most money. And I'm not saying that because they tell me things, even though I'm a content affiliate, because they wouldn't tell me this. I'm telling you because I know. There is no world in which they make more money by not making new Phobies. Collecting the new Phobies is one of the major things that everybody wants to do. So they will continue to make new Phobies. And that's going to continually upset the balance within the game. We just have to live with it. But I've rambled a lot. Let's give Gundam their due, see what they've got. If you're interested, Gundam, or anybody else, if you didn't hear the pretext, that rambling, go check out the in-between the last game, maybe even the end of the last game. But Gundam with the Snowball opener here. Let us see what we've got. See if Karst or anybody else has any comments on the ranting and raving. I wonder how many people skip to the games. Ooh, get a quick cook on the jar. No, we don't. Oh, yeah, because I didn't read the notes. They paired me against Hoploy. Are you serious? Did I read the notes? I already forgot. I'm tired. Just for any of those out there curious, our hero here with some level 10 Phobies, level 11 Phobie, level 12 Phobie. That's literally, I didn't know Hoploy got there. That's literally a max level Phobie right there. That is the highest level Phobie you can get in the game right now. We get it, Hoploy. You've won. You have won the video game. You know, I haven't looked at Shadow Era in a while. I heard it was under new management. Probably a year or two ago, and I was going to look into it, and I never did. I want a digital card game that'll let me play tournaments. And ideally not have a multi-deck format. I hate multi-deck formats, they're stupid. They don't do anything that they're supposed to do in a meaningful way. Sometimes they don't even accomplish, like, the basic level stuff. Like the cursory at a glance. And they're just annoying. Oh. 412 damage, Jar. Imagine. Imagine. I'm not even gonna look at the blue lien. Let's just assume that it and the stabby are straight up immortal. Look at how much effort has to be put into killing this cat. Jar hit, cat hit, Bo Mangles hit in order to kill a single Razormouth. So, the last I checked, Hoploy is actually legit #1 on the ladder. On the, arena ladder. I don't know about async. And I can't really fault Gundam for this. Like, getting upset. Because, like, what are you supposed to do? There isn't anybody in the game that I think... Like, occasionally we used to get Alien Engineer or Shadow Force or Karsh or somebody taking the game off Hoploy. I don't know if there's anybody left in the game who could actually beat Hoploy just due to simple numbers. Unless Hoploy, like, is literally unconscious at this point. But I will say the same thing that I say every time that people complain about people in Sum of All Fears hitting, like, 30-minute queues. The quantity of people that are affected is such a minuscule amount in comparison to the overall game that I highly doubt it will ever be a priority. Now, for somebody like Hoploy, the weird thing is, like, A, they've obviously put a ton of money into the game. But, like, I have to imagine a ton of people just queue into them and go, nope, I'm not playing. So I wonder how many games a day Hoploy actually plays. But it does bring up the question when you're talking matchmaking, who the hell is Hoploy supposed to play? Because it just from a general thing, like, think about it for a second. If we say, hey, Hoploy outlevels everybody by such an absurd amount, we can't pair them against anybody. They can only play the best, the best, the best, because they're the only people who have any chance at beating Hoploy. Because they're the best players, and even though they're underleveled by a gazillion levels, they hypothetically could take a game. Never mind whether those people want to play Hoploy or whatever. Like, let's say we could only pair... How many people is that? Like, 5? We're talking tens of thousands of people that have Phobies. 5 people? What if those people are not online? Like, what do we do? I think it's at the point where I don't think there is another solution other than what Cars has suggested in the past, which is you have to add bots. You have to add bots for the high-level stuff, and you have to add bots for, like, Hoploy. But again, I don't think that this is going to be a big priority for the team because, like... How many people does it affect? It's Hoploy, Karth, who isn't as high-leveled as Hoploy. And then for the Sum of All Fears, 3 people, it's what, like 8 people? I don't know how much effort goes into programming the bots or how much it would go into redesigning a ladder or things like that, but, like, I just don't... It's hard for me to... If we assume that they are strapped for resources, like people, it's hard for me to justify, like, devoting the time and energy to that, even if they are the most invested people. Because, by definition, like, if you climb to the top of Mount Ego, you are among, if not the most invested people in the game. Like, you love Phobies. And I'm not saying take those people for granted, but there's a lot of other people. And like, that's a difficult balance to strike, and I can't say I have a good answer. Sorry, Gundam. GG. I don't know if Gundam really wanted us to dwell on that anyway, to be honest. All right, last game of the evening, chat. All right, dahaz is our hero here on like and subscribe. Going up against bad guy Dread Nougat. I think that's what their name is supposed to be, which is very funny to me. I like it. That's a dead snowball. Somebody done messed up. What were the notes for this one? No notes. All right. No notes, chat. I don't really have anything to add for this early game, not gonna lie. That was my opening. Yeah, the bad guy, I don't know. Everybody gets caught by that once. That's one of those things that you get caught by because it's like, oh, this is safe, right? There's no way they can do this. And then somebody catches you and you're like, oh, they can get you. And then you remember. Like, you learn something. You touch a hot stove once, right? Like, you don't touch a hot stove multiple times because it was hot. And I'm guessing bad guy hadn't touched the stove yet. They learned a tough lesson this day. Happy? Why? I don't know. Bad guy, like, is committing for this Happy, and this seems like a dramatic mistake, right? Blondie follow-up. I don't think you even need the stem here. Did you need the stem? Because if you don't go on the stem, I don't think there's any way they can kill you, but with you on the stem, there is a world in which they kill Ray. This is a good retaliation, though. So I'm going to assume you needed the damage, because otherwise, if you go up one tile, they won't be able to double hit with Daisy. They'll get the hit off the stem if they move there, but that might not be enough damage, and then nothing from the vault can snipe you from that position. It doesn't look like bad guy's going for that anyway. Clean off my mouse pad here, chat. Little ace action. Not what I expected to see. I don't know that it's particularly necessary, but... Okay, so let's talk about ace for a second. Is this a good response to Blondie? So we'll say 1,000 damage. Let's call it even. It reduces it by 400. That's still a lot of... Where I'm going with it is this. We've seen a lot of Blondies get pushed with Shove Shark, or, like, your team pulled into Blondie. Like, Blondie has come back into prominence. Is Ace a reasonable answer? Because even if Ace gets powered down, it's still doing a shit ton of damage to Blondie. Like, it's doing a freakish amount of damage, so, like, maybe it's still fine? I don't get this flesh scroller. I feel like bad guys just putting things on the board. They did go Quagmire to flesh scroller, which is like, I don't know about that. Oh, man. I can promise you that was not bad guys. I think he was too suicidal. Yeah, bad guys just offering things up to die. I mean, there's nothing they can do at this point. They only have 5 keys. You have 12. You have complete control of the board. You kind of... Like, so they lost the snowball. Then they lost the bow and the tooth fairy. And then they're they're just throwing Phobies out there for you to kill. And it's just like... Come on, buddy. You can't be doing this. You cannot be doing this. Dude, the sound effect for Ace is so weird. It's like a warbly, wobbly sound. Doesn't feel like it's very fitting. I don't know. I don't know whether I want a guitar screech or like a really deep hitting sound. Either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this wasn't like a game so much as it was an ass whooping. I'm not gonna lie. Like, listen to that sound. That's so weird. It's a very weird sound. GG. Well played. Yeah, that was just a beating. That was a beating. Alright, chat. That's going to do it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're doing for variety. It could be Warcraft. Could be maybe some tabletop stuff. We'll have to see. But as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.